All right, hey guys, I'm Mason with the Touchbase Podcast, and today I'm here with Bobby from the Geek Guru and Kick Ash, who apparently doesn't like to be called Kick Ash in actual conversation. She prefers Ashley or Ash. So, welcome, guys.
Hi.
Thank you.
Okay, so today we've got a lot to talk about. So, I guess we'll kick it off with who you guys are a little bit. Ash, why don't you go first?
Well, as he said, I'm Kick Ash. Most of you know me because I customize Amiibo. Kind of about it. I try to do the whole YouTube thing for a little bit, but I'm really bad at doing tutorials, like explaining how I do things. I'd like to try again, but yeah, I'm just not that good at it.
Well, if it makes you feel better, my hour-and-a-half long tutorial on how to make a Mega Man Amiiglo has gotten like 6 views in the past 6 months it's been up.
Really? An hour and a half is pretty long, but to do something to do what you do, it's really detailed. You know, you can't just say, okay, slap some paint here, here, here.
Well, you'd think, but here, I'll show you on screen. Hopefully it shows up. I just kind of rip it apart and hope for the best.
Yeah, it's in pieces.
Okay, look at this. I'm the idiot that can't. I can draw, but I can't paint and do Amiibo and all that stuff. I'm going to come to you from somebody, just someone that would watch, okay? I would be interested in, maybe some tutorials from now and again, but how many videos you're going to do on tutorials?
Right.
I would be more interested in if you did a video of just talking to the camera, talking about what Amiibo are out that are interesting to you, like some ideas you have for some customs coming up, or if you show off a custom that you just did and explain hey, this is what my thinking was going into this, and this is why I did it this way. Like, that to me is the better video than watching TV. So there you go.
That's not a bad idea. I might take you up on that.
There you go. Start doing it.
Yeah. So prime example of that is my custom that I did for the charity auction.
I love it.
The Lucario.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so so I did that for the charity auction that the Game Changers were hosting. So funny enough, I was having seller's remorse, and so I kind of bid on my own custom.
No, you did not. You bid on your own custom.
It's for a good cause. It's all about charity.
I did. I bid on my own custom, and
You can't bid on your own. What did you You bid it up so that way it's
No. I bid $1 above the day it got listed. Somebody bid on it immediately. I put $1 above the day of, and I never bid again, and I won.
Good God. Wow.
That's pretty funny.
You stole it from somebody.
No, I didn't. He had a full week to bid on it.
Yeah, he did. He had a while.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I know, but I was like, really? Come on.
Hey, it's all going to the same place. It's for a good cause.
Yeah, but I like this custom, but
I love it.
I was pretty happy with how it turned out. I mean, it does kind of look like a giant white booger, but
but it looks good.
No.
It looks good.
It's a big booger.
Yeah, it looks good.
Big nostril will pull that out.
Okay, so anyway, Bobby, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. So I'm Bobby Pauls, Geek Guru. Like I would say, Geek definitely Guru. I don't know. I got a YouTube channel where I do a lot of YouTube videos, podcasts, all that stuff. But I think a lot of people know me because I started going crazy with Amiibo for a long time, and I just got addicted bad. Yeah. And that's where I did a lot of originally that's where a lot of my videos came from, was Amiibo hunts, things of that nature. So that's where a lot of people kind of found me.
Yeah,
that's how I found you. Just can't stop.
Yeah. That's very true.
All right, so the first thing we typically talk about is the state of our collections. So my collection this week is literally exactly the same as last week, except for I added the Lucario that I meant to auction off, but I ended up keeping.
Jeez.
So I got the Gold Mega Man Amiibo from the Legacy Bundle.
I didn't even buy that yet. I didn't get that yet.
Yeah, so I'm really disappointed in the white packaging. It's very boring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get a second one, and for customizing purposes and for out of box, because I figured I'd keep one in box, and I took the game out, but in the white stupid packaging. But
Sethey did he created a box art for it.
yeah, I know, I saw it. Looks awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good tangential topic. Is how do you do the printing for that? Like, are you printing directly on that backer, like the cardboard backing?
What I do is I'm actually working on a tutorial right now for Amiibo alerts. He's gonna have it up probably sometime this week. I print out like just on semi-gloss paper, just from a regular printer, and just pretty much cut it out and glue it just to the back of the cardboard, the original one. But I peel up the picture, like the cardboard paper thing that was already on there, so it'll stick a little better. I guess you could use like regular printer paper, but personally, I think it looks better with the semi-gloss. You know.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it, but for that process, that's how that goes.
Okay, and so another question for you. How do you reseal your boxes? Because my technique works, but I don't know if it's the best.
Okay, this may seem a little weird. I use a glue stick. Like I use a glue stick on the plastic because like I've tried to use super glue before, but the super glue pulls up the ink from the paper, or it just doesn't look that good. Sometimes I'll have to glue like the corner down with super glue, but I've noticed like glue sticks so far is what works the best.
So I am not much different from you. I use white Elmer's glue, and
There you go.
and I put a really thin line down the edge of the packaging, and then I squish it and put a weight on
Yeah.
like something on the edge to hold it in place and keep it sealed.
Does it work pretty good?
It works okay. Sometimes the glue will seep inside the packaging a little bit, and when it dries clear, as
Yeah.
long as you don't have a huge amount. But you can still see it. Like, someone that did it, of course, will notice it, but 90% of the people that get the
Right.
custom aren't going to notice it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should try the glue stick. Like get the extreme stick one. I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. I have it somewhere. It's like some extreme glue. It
Okay.
works really well. It dries. It goes on purple, dries clear.
Oh, I've seen those. Okay. Yeah, so fun story about glue that happened to me yesterday as I was working on a Ganondorf. So I was gluing the LED inside I was making the middle of the chest glow, and I cut out the part where he got stabbed that's there normally. I
Yeah.
just completely removed that and was going to replace it with hot glue. But I had to have something hold the LED in place so that I could run the rest of the wiring. And so I put a bunch of super glue down in there, just like 3 or 4 drops, and then put the LED in there, and with the wiring attached to the LED already, and was holding it in place, and it wouldn't stick. So I like flipped it upside down, not even thinking, and all the super glue just ran down my hand without me realizing it. But I was holding my hands together kind of like this.
Oh my gosh.
So I super glued my hands together,
Oh my God.
and I was like, I can't believe I just did that. And so like these 3 fingers were stuck together, and I was stuck kind of like this. And so I had 3 fingers and my palms stuck together while holding this Ganondorf figure, which was also stuck to my hands, by the way. It gets worse. It gets worse.
How can it get worse?
I know.
So I didn't want to get the figure wet because the water could mess up the wiring and stuff. So I was like, okay, I've got to get this off. So I used my mouth I bit the figure and pulled it off my hands, and I got super glue on my lips.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell
This is a
are you
mess.
thinking?
No, so it was only on my bottom lip and then a little bit on my tongue, and that was about it. And
How'd you get your fingers apart? Do you just...
I literally just kind of did this for a while and just rubbed back and forth
yeah.
until eventually they broke loose, and I made sure not to touch my tongue or my lips to anything.
Wow.
And so, but everything's good now. I'm super glue free. I don't have any like rips or tears or anything. But yeah, that was my fun evening yesterday with super glue.
I'd have loved to have seen that. That's like one of the moments you wish like somebody would have recorded.
No, I'm very glad nobody recorded that because it was very embarrassing. I'm fine telling about it because it's funny, but I'd say that's probably my worst moment in customizing.
Good God. Yeah,
We still need to do a collab.
Yes, we need to do that frickin' Kylo Ren figure that we talked about.
We should also do a BB-8 one, because like I do the BB-8 Toad. You can make like his chest glow and his head glow. Would that be possible?
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. I'd have to figure. So the problem with a lot of the figures is that the plastic is super thick in certain areas, and they won't
Yeah.
glow. So like
Plus, you need to put clay on top of it, some parts.
oh yeah, so the clay isn't going to show any light through it, I don't think. I've never worked with clay, but we'll figure something out. We'll definitely get something going.
Okay.
All right, so how about you guys? What's the state of your collections after that long tangent?
Well, me personally, I don't remember the last Amiibo that I bought for my collection. I kind of stopped for a little bit.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you guys actually collect for yourselves, or are you guys just buying for to do customizations?
I collect.
Okay.
I also collect.
Okay, good.
So I started with my out-of-box collection. I went a little overboard, and that's honestly part of why I started doing the Amiiglows, is to pay for the ones I'm keeping.
Yeah.
So I have my out-of-box collection, which I don't know if you guys saw the photo I posted of the Insignia travel case that.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I have every single Amiibo that's come out to this point, minus the Animal Crossing ones, in a single Insignia travel case.
Holy cow.
And then, so I've got my out-of-box collection, my mint-in-box collection, which is in my the last Touch Base podcast video. Bobby, if you want to go check that out at some point. And they're just stacked up in my closet, essentially.
Oh, it's doing it.
That's fine. And
for me, I have these baseball bat display cases. So I have these two, and then one more above. I have two on the walls over here, and then I have giant bookcases behind the camera here. I have every single Amiibo, Animal Crossing and non-Animal Crossing, like Smash, Mario Brothers. The only ones that I am missing is the Mega Yarn Yoshi, because I wasn't sure I wanted it, and now that I didn't get it, I'm thinking about buying it now.
That's how it works.
Yeah, and then I didn't buy the gold Mega Man because I'm a little annoyed with the whole situation. I think that, I did a rant video about it, but I just think that Nintendo went cheap on it. I think that
I agree.
Overall, well, not that they went cheap on the on the Amiibo itself, but the cost of it was much more than it was just to buy the game and to buy an Amiibo. It was $20 more to buy the bundle than if I was just to buy the game and buy an Amiibo.
Yeah.
So my mindset is, and I know it's going to cost me more. I've been in talk with Evilos, and he's going to probably do that gold one that he did. I'm gonna buy it off of him. But I would rather have that because there's more detail to it. It looks better and it looks amazing, And and I'm like, this is, and it's paining me too not to get that because I have them all.
Yeah.
But it's just they could have done something. I mean, you're talking about
that's a pretty big difference. I mean, I could see a $5 difference, but a $20 difference, that's just too big to justify,
Yeah. Well, so realistically, what you're paying for. So if you take the let's say $13.99 for Toys R Us Amiibo price, that's about the top dollar of what you'll pay retail.
Yeah.
So plus what? How much is the game? And
the game was $14.99.
Okay, so
if you bought the digital game, it was $14.99.
Okay,
I bought it on the eShop because I was like, I'm not paying $50 for this thing.
Yeah. Okay, so I could see them charging maybe $20 for a physical copy. So 20 plus $15 essentially. That's $35. I paid $50 for this thing. Yeah. So that's an additional $16 for this bundle, and you get these 4x6 postcard things of artwork and the box that it comes in. And
on top of Twilight Princess came out a week later.
Yeah.
They do. They release all these things. Same with the Amiibo. They release all these Amiibos so close together to all these other releases. It's by the time the month's done, you're just broke.
Yeah. Pretty much. And that was my thing. When I thought about it, I was like, I had just bought the week before I bought Fire Emblem Fates, the collector's edition, and I was like, and I knew I had Twilight Princess coming after that, and I wanted that wolf. I wanted that wolf Amiibo. That thing's amazing.
Yeah.
And
I haven't gotten it yet, and I'm debating whether or not I should go get it.
Now, my co-host on the Geekcast, Toby, if I don't say this, he'll cut me. He does custom Amiibos.
Yes.
He's the Amiibo Workshop on Instagram. You can find him on Facebook, all that stuff. He's on YouTube as well. He paints them realistically. He puts a realistic flair on it. And, man, he already started, and just 5 minutes in, he did Midna's crown or whatever, her headdress, and it just looks badass because the one that they give you is just gray. It's just a light gray.
Shit.
He's actually got the detail in there and all that
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
Did you guys see Xanark and Skies, Midna?
Yes, I saw that. She did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
So, Bobby, as far as your collection goes, you got the Twilight Princess bundled, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So, I don't own that amiibo yet. For the people that may or may not have it or are debating whether I'm getting it, what would you suggest?
I mean, I would say get it. It's definitely one of the better ones. It's bulky. It's heavier. I've been on record of saying I feel like the one thing that they did wrong with this, and it's all debatable, depends what you're into. I feel like the base itself, they should have done something different rather than the circular base with the gold coin top, because you have that and then you have the 2 rock pieces.
Yeah.
For me personally, I felt like that should have been an additional rock to make it like he was actually in the mountains.
Well, that would be badass.
Yeah, and they could have etched a Triforce in the top of that center rock.
Oh my gosh, that would be so cool.
Yeah. So
that would have been great.
But regardless of you take that away, I think it's awesome. And the cool thing about this particular amiibo, obviously it gives you additional content in the game. But the one thing that I really like about this amiibo, and it's so stupid, but it's kind of cool, is when you're playing Twilight Princess, you save your data to that game or to that amiibo. So your game save data is being saved on it. So when I go and I log on and I go to play Twilight Princess, when the title screen comes up, I plop my amiibo down. It takes me right into the game exactly where I was. I don't have to go through. Yeah, I don't have to go and grab my save file and none of that. So that part of it I really like. I think that was a good move.
I didn't even know that was how that functioned. I thought it just unlocked the dungeon.
Yeah. It does that as well. So what I'm curious about, though, now this has me a little curious, is I'm wondering if, and maybe it won't work, because I don't think it's actually your save data, and it might be, I don't know, because I don't know what information is actually going in the NFC chip. Yeah. I'm curious if I take that game to a friend's house and I scan it in, will it pick up my save data there? But I don't know.
That's interesting. I don't know why you'd really need or want to do that in particular, unless you're like visiting family and they have a Wii U and you really want to continue your game.
It'd be more for kids than it would be for me. Like, I'm not gonna take it to my best friend's house and but anything like that. But like a little kid,
might be a little weird.
A little kid. I mean, because you think about when we were kids, I would take my cartridge. My cousins might have had Zelda or something. I would still take my cartridge because I'd be like, hey, I'm further than you guys. Let's play mine or whatever, So
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I might have to pick that up because Zelda is one of the few games my girlfriend will play. I bought the original Majora's Mask 3DS XL. That was the first Nintendo handheld system I'd bought since the original DS. And so I got that, and I got it with the bundle. It was the restock one. So I had like Majora's Mask and Codename Steam and all that came with it from GameStop. Basically, as soon as I got it, she kind of stole it and just was playing Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time and Link Between Worlds. And she beat all but Ocarina of Time because she was getting really annoyed with how like the time resets and everything.
Yeah.
And so she was getting really annoyed. So she never ended up finishing Ocarina of Time. But yeah, so that 3DS is kind of hers in a way, but I've been playing Pokemon Yellow on it. So speaking of Pokemon Yellow, that's a good segue to our next topic, which is what games have you guys been playing? So I've been playing Pokemon Yellow this week and a crap ton of Splatoon because Bobby and the Ink Strike podcast inspired me to pick it back up, and it's a blessing and a curse.
Oh, Splatoon gets me so angry sometimes. Oh, man.
That's a great game. I love it.
Okay, so how about you guys? What have you been playing? And then I think we can maybe head back to Splatoon for a minute and we can talk about Bobby and all of your trials and tribulations using all these weapons and whatnot.
But for me, I'm playing Fire Emblem Fates. I thank God that I have all the Amiibo for that, all the Fire Emblem Amiibo. So I was able to scan in all of them. And what's nice about that is, for people that don't know, is if you're lucky enough to have gotten the Fire Emblem Amiibo, you scan them in, and when you scan them the third time, they will challenge you to fight. And if you beat them, they will join your team. So and they are beasts. Like Marth and Ike are just badass. So absolutely you want to try to get them in. So that's the one game I've been playing a lot of, and then I started playing Twilight Princess as well. So that's what I'm playing.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really been playing anything. It's been probably a couple weeks since I've just played any video game. I've been really busy with the customs. I'm playing catch up right now.
Yeah.
And I got the stomach flu and I fell behind. So I'm trying to catch up with all of my orders. Once I do, I think I'm gonna go get Twilight Princess. I love that amiibo that the data saves on there.
Yeah,
You
that's
check
really
that
cool.
out.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's completely understandable, Ash, because, like, for me, I got so behind. I got swamped with orders a little bit after Christmas, oddly enough. Not before Christmas, but after Christmas. I had, like, 3 orders for, like, 4 apiece. So, like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wonderful. And so I finally got all but one of those orders done, and the guy, I've got the 4 done, but he was the guy I did the Samus for, and
Yeah.
the Samus looks awesome, except for when I put it back together, the glue that I used to hold the base together seeped out and made the base look kind of ugly. So I felt really, and I told him what happened. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, it was kind of unavoidable. I didn't know it was going to happen because I'd never done a Samus before. But, you know, what can I do to make it up for you? Like, if you want, I'll make you another Amiiglo of your choosing. Just send me the figure and I'll get it done. And so that's what we're going to end up doing. And that's why I've been doing all these Ganondorfs, is because he wants a Ganondorf done, but he wanted to make sure I could do it first, which is fine because I wanted to do one for myself anyway.
Speaking of Samus, she's one of the ones I'm missing from my collection. And I didn't think when she was everywhere, I didn't think to buy her. I thought, okay, well, her and Diddy Kong. I thought, I can get them later. Now I can't find them anywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so Samus, I haven't seen new in the wild in a long time, but Diddy Kong, I can walk into the Toys R Us near me, and there's like 4 or 5 on the shelf.
Are you kidding? I haven't seen him in months. It's been maybe like 7 months since I've seen him.
Really?
He's gone up used on GameStop a couple times, but I collect them new.
Okay.
Like new in the box.
You keep them in the box?
Yep, keep them in their cages. I know.
I gotta go. I can't be on this call.
No.
This is ridiculous. Who does?
Well, okay. So Bobby, what about me?
Okay,
I've got open box and inbox.
You got serious issues because it's bad enough you're doing 1, but then you do 2. That's just ridiculous. Okay, here's my question though. So then that means you're only collecting. Okay, well you two need therapy. Okay, here's the situation. Okay,
that's been long established, but okay.
If this is why I didn't keep them in box. 2 reasons. If I lived in Europe, then I probably would have kept them in box because theirs are numbered. In the United States, they're not numbered, so that part of it didn't. The OCD didn't click in on that. The second thing was when the crunch came for us, I had to import some. And I was like, if I kept them in the box, then that would be a whole nother OCD that I couldn't keep up. So that's what I don't understand. So all yours are NA in box.
Yep, I have imported a couple of them, but those are the ones that I've opened because I couldn't do the whole like Japanese writing with my American ones.
Oh, that's.
I love them in the box. I love the box art. And
the box art. The box art is phenomenal. I'm not going to take that. I'm not taking that from anything. And that's one thing I will tell you. That's the one Wolf Amiibo with Midna was the first one that I actually considered keeping in the box.
I love that.
The artwork is amazing. Like it's not cartoony at all. It's like it looks really like a painting. It's nice. I don't know how you guys do it. I couldn't.
Is that a Rob lamp in the background?
Yeah, right there.
That is so cool.
Oh my god, I've never seen that before. That's awesome.
That is so freaking cool.
Yeah, my wife gave me that for Christmas this year. She got it off Etsy. There's a guy that does that, and he's got another one where he's got NES controllers. So he's got but they're all like he'll have like the Wiimote up and down, and he'll have like an NES one and Super Nintendo. It's he's got GameCube. He's got nice ones.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah.
So okay, I feel like with regards to the inbox thing, I think and this might anger you, Bobby, but I'm going to risk it anyway. I feel like you can't handle the true collector spirit of keeping things in box. You're like a little kid at Christmas when you get a new box. I mean, I've seen your unboxing videos.
Go F yourself, Mason. Listen,
I'm just messing with you.
All seriousness, Ash. Amazon Prime right now. Samus. That's Japanese. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah, she's all over in Japanese. I need a.
There's one that's $23.95, but that's too much money for her. You don't want to pay that. No, serious. Like, no, it has nothing to do with that. It's like
I'm just messing with you.
No. Listen. Look at this. It's a shame that the people at home can't see, but look at this. Like, it's.
No, you're a more serious collector than I will ever be.
Yeah. The problem is now I do a podcast with two idiots from Europe, and they keep them in box. And Alan, every week I have to do this video. I have to do the podcast with Alan every week, and he has a wall of Amiibo.
That's how mine is.
Pinned up, and I'm like,
that's mine. That's all mine.
I can't do that. Like.
I love it. I love it.
Bobby, I completely understand your viewpoint. I sympathize with you. I just like having the second set in box for like collection purposes. Like,
yeah.
Uh-oh. Bobby, your sound cut off.
Oh no.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I can see him talking, but I can't hear him.
Technical difficulties there.
Yeah.
It was all your BS Amiibo talk clogging my speakers and my microphone. No,
I'm sorry.
Like, in all honesty, when things first began, that was my intentions. I was gonna get one, keep one in the box, take one out. Okay, so quick story. If you see, you got the wrong person on the podcast today because I'm gonna talk.
I like stories.
Stuff. So when Amiibo were first announced, the Christmas before, I had told my wife, "Get me all these games for Christmas." And it drove me up the wall because Nintendo is notorious. Around November, they start pumping out good games.
Yep.
I knew going into that November there was going to be some really good games that I did not want to wait for. So I said to her, look, buy these Amiibo because nobody's going to buy these Amiibo. And you'll be able to pick up whatever ones I want. Just pick up a couple, no big deal. And then I'll pick up the rest after Christmas, whatever you don't get. 21st hits. Amiibo launch, what was it, after 3 days, boom, lights out. You couldn't get nothing. And I started panicking. Like, I was like, holy shit, I screwed up. I did the wrong thing here. I should have never told her this. And I started freaking out. Luckily, she's got OCD like me, and she went hog wild, and I got every single one.
Good for her. Props to her.
That Christmas, I had every single one, Wave 1 and Wave 2. And I was like, thank God, because I was scared to death. But the problem was right after Wave 2, that's when all the stores put the lockdown, and you could only do one.
Yeah.
So that makes it hard. Like, I don't know how the hell you do it, Mason. That's crazy to do that.
Okay. To make matters worse, I started in March.
You had a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
What the hell, dude?
I started in March because I couldn't afford it. I had a PS3, Xbox 360, and the Wii, but I didn't have any spare cash to like purchase anything. So I traded in like all my systems and got the Arkham Knight PS4 when it came out and a Wii U like a little bit before that. And then I started wasting all my money, my little bit of spare cash I had on Amiibo, and I spent $70 on a little Mac. Off
No
eBay.
way.
Yeah, I did.
No.
Yeah. Because I opened it.
Oh, I was about to say, is it at least still in the box?
No.
Like first print matters.
No, okay. I have first print everything except Villager, Wii Fit Trainer, and Marth.
Yeah, I need a first print Villager. All the rest, I have first print.
Yeah.
I had first print Villager and I gave them away.
No way. Oh.
Yeah. But mine are out of the box, so it's not a big deal.
All right.
So as far as the eyes go, it does that kind of.
Yeah, that's the one thing. But a buddy of mine wanted them. He needed them, and I said, "Look, I got them out of the box. I don't need two. I'll give you one." you know.
Yeah. So when I started doing Amiiglows, one of the reasons I started was because my one of my best friends mains Villager. Well, now he mains DDD, but that's a story for another day. And so I was like, I'm gonna make him LED Villager. And I went to Jesus Freak on Reddit. You guys have probably seen his stuff. He's the other guy that does LED work.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, well, he was the first person that I knew of to do like Mario and Mega Man and all that. And then I went to him and said, "Hey, can I commission you to make a Villager for me?" And I found a guy locally that was selling off his collection to buy a engagement ring for his soon-to-be fiance.
Aww.
And he sold me first print Villager, which I did this to.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Let me make sure I'm full screen.
Awesome.
So that's a Smash Ball that I made out of hot glue. And
How long did that take you? Like
to make the Smash Ball, or to tear Villager apart and install
the
everything?
Smash Ball and Villager, like all that.
So I just did the Smash Ball like a couple days ago. By the way, I got this like March last year, and it's for my friend's birthday, which is in June, and he still hasn't gotten it. But he plays the Sleepy or Stone Villager.
Yeah.
And so I'm having it repainted as that, and then I'm sending it to the Game Changers, and they're going to use transparent paint on the Smash Ball and have it like the proper colors.
That'll be sick.
Yeah, and so and then I'm going to finally give it to him for his, well, a year and a half late birthday.
I don't think he'll complain, honestly.
Yeah, well, I gave him something else to tide him over. I told Bobby this before we started recording, but I brew beer in my spare time as well, which is where the rest of my money goes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so like I just brewed a batch of Harry Potter themed butterbeer for a friend's wedding, and I have like a whole like label I made and printed out. And I made like a 5-gallon batch, so I
want to try it.
So I made that Villager for a friend, and he'll get it hopefully soon. With regards to Pokemon, which I mentioned like half an hour ago, it seems like, I was browsing Reddit, and I found a couple things that I found interesting, specifically with regards to Pokemon Amiibo. So we've got that Shadow Mewtwo card coming out with Pokken Tournament, and the first thing I saw was the guy made the point of, Amiibo tend to release now along with major games. So or as Nintendo sees it, major games like, Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, not so major. But
I'm not into the whole Animal Crossing thing. I'm not even collecting the Amiibo. I have a couple of them, but yeah.
You guys, you guys are killing me, man. It's just horrible.
Okay.
What kind of collectors and fans are you guys?
I don't like Animal Crossing. I mean, it's cute.
Okay, I've never played Animal Crossing, Bobby, and I'm sorry. It's not that I haven't necessarily been willing to. It's not the kind of game I go for.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'll tell you right now. I said the same exact thing the very first time, and I played on the GameCube, and the GameCube version was the OG Virtual Console, which means on the original GameCube version, you could unlock or get NES games as gifts and stuff, but you could actually go into another screen and play like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and the original Mario Brothers and the original Zelda and all that stuff. So I went in playing that game with the premise of, man, I want to play these old school games again, and I don't have any ability to. And then I found this other game in the meantime called Animal Crossing, and I was just like, holy crap, this game is addicting as hell. And I just fell down the rabbit hole, and that was it. So
Okay, so that's understandable. Like, I just have never had the desire to play Animal Crossing. I do have one Animal Crossing amiibo, and that is Celeste, because my girlfriend works with wildlife, specifically birds of prey. And so I got her a Celeste amiibo because she loves owls.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And, they're super cute and whatever, but it's just not me.
Yeah, I bought the first couple ones, but I haven't bought any since. Like, I have that 3-pack. I'm actually thinking about opening it and customizing them. Because the 3-pack's down now to like $15.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think that, and it's a shame because I thought that series would do better, but a lot of it has to do with there's really no game to go with.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Amiibo Festival seemed very, like, It's like a board game, but on television.
You need to be a super fan to enjoy that game. Seriously.
I don't even think many super fans enjoy it.
I mean, well, okay, I do. Occasionally, my wife and I will play, and you get the meanings behind stuff, and it kind of like, okay, that's cool. And you can customize it by, like with the Amiibo cards, putting certain villagers into the town so that way they show up in the game, which is fun. That part of it's fun. The trivia contest, like the mini games are actually fun. They have like this survival island where you have to like do so many moves to get off the island, and you have to uncover all these different pieces and stuff like that. That's a lot of fun, that game. But yeah, the actual game itself is not. It's definitely not the greatest game, but
yeah. Well, okay. So with regards to Pokemon and the Pokken tournament, so the guy was saying, Amiibo released with these major games, or supposed to be major games, and with the Smash line ending probably not too long from now, and Animal Crossing it seems to be winding down for the most part. If Nintendo's going to continue this Amiibo thing, they've got the Kirby line coming out, which we'll cover in a minute. But and I'm excited about that too. But
yeah, Nancy.
Yeah. So in particular, I think Pokemon. I mean, the possibility with Pokemon Amiibo is just freaking endless. There's 721, I believe, now, and they're coming out with new ones for Sun and Moon.
Right.
And so I feel like, and this person's, was like, they think a Pokemon line of Amiibo is inevitable.
Or the Pokemon Amiibo cards.
Yeah.
Because there is so many Pokemon, if they're gonna I think they're probably gonna make a couple Pokemon Amiibo, but I think most of them are gonna be the Amiibo cards. I mean, everybody's gonna want to collect them all. Makes most sense.
Bobby, we lost your sound again.
No, it doesn't want his input.
So you're not the first person to say that, Ashley. Amiibo News covered this probably every podcast for the first 8 podcasts they put out. Bobby, you back?
Yeah, I think. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're back.
Okay.
So I was saying, Ash is not the first person to cover or to say they're going to do cards, because Amiibo Newscast has said that. I've been saying that. I have a bet going with my friends at the local GameStop as to whether they're going to do cards or actual figures or both. My guess is both.
Yeah.
I think that if you look at the way they handle the Animal Crossing, it's a no-brainer that they're going to do that, because it just makes sense. You look at the way they did the Animal Crossing Amiibo, the bigger characters, like the mainstays, they all got actual figures, and then because they have 400 villagers, they're not going to make 400 Amiibo. So that's the way they handled that. So absolutely, I think that's good.
I think if they do the Pokemon Amiibo and the cards, I think it'll bring a lot more people back to Nintendo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel
it'll bring people back to the Amiibo game, because I think because you see big time, people starting to wane off of the Amiibo, and I think that would wholeheartedly bring people right back to it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I totally agree. I feel like the Amiibo hunt is dead. The hunt is definitely gone, and I miss it to some degree.
I really miss it. I know people. I gotta say, I know people like that they can walk in and go get a little Mac and all that, but I miss I know this sounds really bad. I miss feeling knowing oh, I'm one of a couple thousand that have Lucina and Robin. You know what I mean? I miss that feeling of beating everyone.
Well, you still are one of the couple thousand that only
as far as Lucina and Robin go, but
I got them too. But I agree completely. When it first, so after Wave 4, I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Went to Target, picked up whatever, left there, went to Toys R Us, picked up Greninja and all those.
You gotta go GameStop getting those.
Yeah. So, but I basically had a bunch of them, because my wife left or called out of work that day and went to do the pre-order at GameStop when the whole systems crashed and all that stuff. So, but my thing is I really, after Wave 4, I was I'm done. I'm going to import. I imported all of Wave 5 from Japan. And then I was now it's
which at that point you kind of didn't need to for Wave 5. They did really good with Wave 5.
But coming out of Wave 4, nobody knew that. So I didn't. Yep. I wasn't taking no chance.
Yep.
And but I do now. It's man, it was like, now it's like just so
I don't pre-order anything now. I just go
blah.
walk into the store and go get it, and it's weird.
Yeah.
Well, so I like that. And so for me, it's not about the fact that I'm one of 1,000 that has Lucina Robin or whatever. That was never what it was for me. For me, it was I loved going and sitting in line and meeting all these people. Like, you guys know who Flapsnapple, the head moderator on our Amiibo?
Yeah.
He lives like 10 minutes from me, and we had no idea until the Wave 4 launch. We freaking like chilled outside of a Toys R Us for like 2 hours before the launch, and just like, sat and chilled. And like I met all these awesome people that I still talk to fairly often. Like, you know, Bobby, I know you've met a bunch of your friends through the Amiibo hunt. Like,
absolutely.
And that's what I miss, is getting to meet all these really cool people that I otherwise wouldn't have met. And
my whole community following is based off of Amiibo hunting, more or less. You know, like a lot of my friends that I made, like, you know, Alan and Toby, like the whole reason of getting to meet them was when Gold Mario hit, and it wasn't going to the UK or to England or to Scotland and all Europe, and they asked me to help them out, and I was able to secure them extra ones and get them shipped over to them guys. And then like a lot of people that are, I mean, Mason, you're in my Facebook group.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that are in there are people that followed me when I did the hunts, and when they needed stuff, I gave them stuff, and I did my giveaways. And you know, I've never sold an Amiibo at all. Anything extra I ever get, I always give away. And it's just, you know, I think that like there's a without Amiibo, I wouldn't have met those people. And there's some really solid people that are, you know, that I've met through it, and I that part of it I miss. Like you said, I miss just hanging out to the store at 4 o'clock in the morning and like, you know, just chilling out, talking, whatever, Amiibo, video games, all that stuff.
Yeah. So like, you know, I first started collecting pretty soon after Wave 3 hit, which is really late in the game, or no, just before Wave 3 hit. Sorry. And so my first Amiibo hunt or whatever was, you know, or like, well, okay, not the first hunt, but the first time I did any camping or anything like that, I got to, for Wave 3, you know, I got to Target it like super early, and that we basically just sat and played Smash and Pokemon, and you know, it was great. And then for the Wave 4 launch, so the way the stores are situated for me is there's a Target or there's a Walmart, then like 2-minute drive away is Target, then literally across the parking lot is Toys R Us, and then across the street is GameStop.
Yeah, mine's pretty much like that, just without a Walmart.
Yeah. Well, so like I pretty much just skipped Walmart because they did their midnight release and everything was gone already, and I was like, I'm
Walmart
not gonna...
sucks for Amiibo.
No kidding.
It's bad.
Another story for another day.
Yeah.
But I'd say Toys R Us handles Amiibo launches the best out of the places I've been. Them and GameStop. But GameStop is kind of unique in that if you know the people, like so I have my regular GameStop that I go to, and there's 3 different games. Well, actually, there's like 6 GameStops where I live.
Same here. I have a lot around me too.
Yeah. So I've got the one that is my main store, and then I have like my backup store, and then there's my backup store.
Yep.
And so like my main store, I know all the employees. Like I do trades with them all the time with like Pokemon, Amiibo, whatever. Like I got my Pit Amiibo because one of them, you know, bought a Pit Amiibo for himself when they first came out, and he's like, hey, if you make like something, make me. I think he wanted like a glowing Mega Man. And he's like, I'll give you the Mega Man if you'll make it glow. I'll give you this Pit, and I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, like half of my out-of-box collection came through stuff like that. But GameStop, the thing about them is that if you know the guys, they'll make sure you get the figure you need, which is, it's kind of crappy for people that don't frequent the stores. But
this means you got to mingle a little.
Yeah, I guess I kind of see it as like a networking thing.
Yeah, right.
Rather than you know, they're giving me preferential treatment in a way, which is, I understand, not necessarily fair. And like now it's not really an issue, but like with Wave 4, I was first in line for Robin and Lucina pre-orders, and Ness and all that. I got everyone except Robin and Lucina. Even though I was in first in line, they were already sold out. The store manager called the GameStop corporate on my behalf and got them to add Robin and Lucina to my order.
Oh, nice.
Like, Like
That's awesome.
yeah, I was blown away. Like he called me like a day later and was like, "Hey, I called corporate for you and made sure they added Robin and Lucina because you were
That's
first in
awesome.
line." Yeah.
Keep
So
growing.
like that's fine, but you know, when Mewtwo and the Yarn Yoshis came out, like the pink and blue ones, everybody thought they were going to sell out, you know, and blue did for a while, but then they restocked. But you know, initially they made sure I got a pink and a blue Yarn Yoshi and held them in back for me, even though I wasn't able to get in till like after work that day.
That's
And so
cool.
like that I don't know if I agree with from a moral standpoint. I mean, I'm glad they did, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I don't see what's wrong with that. I mean, you guys are friends. I guess I could see where it would upset people, but
Yeah.
I mean, at least now. I mean, before I kind of probably would have been a little salty about it, back when like the amiibo were so hard to get. But like now, I guess it's just that's nice, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool that they did it, and I mean, I'll play devil's advocate, and I'll just be honest with you. Like, I think that, like, yeah, I would if I was in that situation, I'd be pissed because they were hard to get, and but it depends on how they handle it too. Like,
Yeah.
if it's like in your face and you
Yeah,
see it
right.
happening, then it's one thing. But if they're just doing it on the down low and nobody knows about it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, it doesn't matter.
Well,
But
so
it never. It's always when you go in there and you find out, like, oh, we had 5, but we held them for our friends and stuff like that.
so
Bullshit.
basically what they would do is they would like I'd go in like the day before the release or whatever and be like, you know, and they've already got the amiibo and they know I'd come to get one.
Yeah.
And so they'd be like, how many do you need? And like the way I always did it is I would be like, I'm just gonna get one initially. I'll get my one for my personal collection, and then I'll wait a day and then come back. And if there's still some left, then I get my second one and whatever custom ones or ones for customs that I might need. So I try not to be greedy, or I tried not to be greedy.
See, I was one of the greedy ones. Like gosh, I know this sounds really bad, and I'm sure people are gonna hate me for saying this, but I'd buy like 2 or 3 of one, because like for a while there, I wanted an out of box and an inbox collection. So I started doing out of box and inbox, but you know, it's very expensive. It really starts to add up.
Uh-huh.
So I'm kind of doing the inbox thing now, but I still have like multiples of like the older hard to get amiibo, so I just give them away now.
Well, okay, so I do collect both inbox and out of box. So when I say I would only buy one at a store. Like I would never be the guy that would be like, oh, you've got 2 Robins, I'm gonna buy them both.
See,
Like,
I would have tried to buy both. I would have been that.
well, so it actually makes the hunt more interesting. If you only buy one from the store you're at, you get to go to a different store and be like, oh, it's a whole new hunt. I got to try and get there and make sure I get these extra ones. Like,
Then you got to try not to get a speeding ticket.
Bobby, you lost your sound again.
Oh, dang. It just does not, Google Hangouts does not want him to talk.
That was really funny because I saw him on screen just go, dang it.
He's probably going to hate me for that, the multiple things. I got to hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Okay, you're back.
Okay. So when Wave 4 hit, right? So my wife goes to GameStop when they had the whole system crash, all that. She secures them all. Mm-hmm. I decided, because I had them all except for Jigglypuff. That was the only one I couldn't pre-order at that point. I decided I was going to go to Target and I was going to get what I could get, and I was going to. I'm sorry, I couldn't get Jigglypuff and I didn't get Greninja. They were the 2 that I needed. So my idea was, I'm going to go to Target, I'm going to get whatever I can get, and I'm going to give them away. I'm going to do a giveaway on my channel. So I go to Target and I secure every single one. Every one I get, Robin, Lucina, all of them. Got them. Go to Target, or I go to Toys R Us after that, and I'm 4th in line. Comes back around, and I got them all, but they also had Marth. So I got Marth,
yes,
plus Robin, plus Lucina, and all that stuff. So I'm sitting in line, and all of a sudden the guilt starts to hitting because I look behind me, and there's like 2 people behind me. There's a family with 2 little kids.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm such a dick. So I go, there's the 2 people behind me. I was like, oh, you guys can go ahead of me because I already had my tickets in hand. And I turn around to them and I go, hey guys, you know, I want you guys to have these. You know, I give them to the parents, and that's in the Geek Guru group. It's Jason Hoffner, and he does a lot of giveaways now in my group. Like he'll give away pops and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Like that's how I met them, and because I was sitting there and I felt like such a jerk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I take these from these little kids, I'm gonna feel like horrible. And technically I didn't, because if I didn't buy them, the two people behind me would have bought them.
Yeah.
But still, it doesn't matter. Like in my mind, it was like,
Yeah. No, I know.
you are a horrible person. You're stealing these from these little kids. So yeah, it's not good.
I'm glad I've never had one of those moments because I would have felt really bad. I would have done the same thing. I really
Okay,
would've.
so Bobby, I had a moment very similar to that during Wave 4. So when I was at Target, well, okay, first I need to preface this. With all the hunts I went on, every time there was an Amiibo released, there was this one kid, I guess he was probably 12, 13, and his mom was always with him. And at first, like, you know, I thought it, and like the kid was like really excited about getting the Amiibo, and he was always like just behind me in line most of the times. And you know, we played Smash a few times on 3DS or whatever, but after the first time, his mom, like, they went in and they bought two. One, the mom bought one and the kid bought one, or whatever, because you know it was one per person, and so they bought two. And I was like, okay, maybe they're doing what I'm doing with the in-box and out-of-box, and they just don't want to, you know, give other people the chance, you know, and go to another store, or whatever. That's fine, whatever. Because I know plenty of people that would bring friends during their hunts. I was like, okay, whatever, no big deal. It's when I went on the hunt for Gold Mario that they earned the nicknames Scalper Mom and Scalper Family. So Gold Mario went to the midnight release at Walmart. They were like, we're going to make it two per person, and people were like, awesome, that's great. And then a bunch more people showed up and were like, hey, you guys need to form a line and figure out what order you were here in, and you know, keep it orderly. No, if there's any violence of any sort, including like loud verbal arguments, we're just going to kick you out and you're not going to get anything. And I was like, that's fair. So we get in line. Scalper Mom and son show up with sister and dad in tow, and they're 12th in line, and 12th plus in line.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, everybody's got it figured out. We're all in line. We're waiting. It's like 11:58. The guy comes out from the back with all the boxes. People start cheering, which I thought was kind of silly. But but so like boxes come out with the bundle with the regular Mario in it, which I bought one of those because I didn't know if that was gonna be rare or not at the time. I still haven't opened it just because I heard that game sucked so bad. But we're standing there. He goes, we have 12 Gold Mario, and that's it. And so Scalper Family is getting one, and the kid starts like, it's like, oh, well, okay, that sucks, but the kid was fine with it. The mom starts throwing a hissy fit, and she's like, I need multiples. We brought our whole family for this, blah blah blah. And like, the people in front of the line were like, is it still two per person or is it just one per person? And the guy's like, it's one per person, and they're like, okay, that sucks that you told us we were going to be able to get two, but now you're limiting it. But we understand that, you know, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
And most of the people in line, there were a few people that were kind of pissed off about it, but you know, most of us were like, okay, it's fine. So, you know, I'm 11th, and Scalper Mom and family are in 12th. So I get my one plus the bundle, and I start walking out to leave with the other people that I've, you know, made friends with or whatever. They're behind us, and they're like, so are you going to go to any of the other Walmarts to try to get more, because they knew I collected in and out of box? And I was like, yeah, there's a few Walmarts around town that open at 6 a.m. I might go to that. The Scalper Mom behind me goes, oh, there are Walmarts that open at 6? I was like, yeah, there's a couple. There's one over off this road and one over off this road. The one that I'm planning on going to actually completely stopped carrying Amiibo. Like, they have nothing. They don't have an Amiibo section at all. And the last time they got any Amiibo was with Gold Mario. Although I went back the other day and they finally had some, but like, it's barren. They've got like nothing. So I go there at 6 a.m. Scalper Mom, son, daughter, and father first in line at the door. I show up like it's like 5:59. I show up and I'm tired. You know, I got like 5 hours of sleep. Walk in the door. I was like, oh, so you guys showed up? And they're like, yeah. How many are you going to get? And they're like, well, it depends on how many they've got. And I was like, okay. Well, I'm hoping to get one, like maybe two, so I can do like a custom or like something with it. They open up. We walk to the back. fairly calmly. Like, they were kind of walking fast, but I was like, whatever, I don't care. As long as they don't, like, buy, like, 10 Amiibos, like, I'm fine. And most of us were like, okay, it's fine. So all of the stock or whatever. We get back there, they've got 8, and the mom goes, well, we want 4. How many do you want? And I was like, I mean, I'll take 4, and I sold them at price to people that couldn't get them online.
Yeah, oh, that's
what I ended up doing.
nice.
And I give one to a friend. We each buy our box. We're all walking out the store together. As soon as we get out the door, she goes, do you want to buy 2 of ours from us? And I was like, well, I have a box full of them right here, but I mean, how much are you wanting? And she's like, $30 a piece. And I go, I'm good, thanks. And I walk away. And I was, so from then on.
Are you kidding? Yeah. She tried to hustle you right there.
Outside the Walmart. We walk outside, and she tries to get me to buy these gold Marios.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, I have a box of 4 perfect condition ones right here, and you're trying to sell me them for $30 a piece.
That's ridiculous.
They ended up going for more, even.
Oh yeah, no, they were online going for like $60 plus, but like forever known as Scalper Family.
Scalper Family.
Jesus.
Yeah. So.
Did they just get them to sell them?
I guess. I don't know. I think the kid actually wanted 1, and then the rest I think the mom scalped. Like, because there's a local Craigslist ad that's always updated afterwards that it wouldn't surprise me if it was them.
You should go and buy one just to see if it's Scalper Family.
Did you see my gold Mario that I showed that my mom bought me for Christmas?
No, I don't think I did.
You didn't see? Okay.
I think I heard about this.
I gotta show you this. You guys are gonna die when you see this. Hold on a second.
No, I'm curious.
This video is like, or this podcast is off the rails. But hold on. Not that anybody on the show can see it, but hold on for a second.
Oh, they can't see this?
No, they'll be able to. We'll have a YouTube thing, but like for the people listening in, they won't be able to hear this. And all right, Bobby, we'll get back on topic after this. You have no sound again.
Sound again. Google Hangouts hates him.
I don't know why it keeps doing that.
All right.
Okay, so anybody that wants to see this and they're not sure, they can check out my YouTube channel. I do have a video up of it, like an unboxing. But this is, I don't know if you guys can see, this is a gold Mario. It's from Japan. It was given to Club Nintendo members back in 2009 during the DS. But it's actually, you pull it out. And it's an actual thing. It's like in there, but it's like a statue. It's a little mini statue, but it's actually gold.
Oh, that's cool.
That's really cool.
It's awesome.
So your mom got you that as the gold Mario?
As a Christmas present this year. She gave it to me.
That's cool, though.
Did
she think it was an Amiibo?
No. She knew it wasn't an Amiibo, but my wife told her to get it for me, so she did. I love it. I think it's awesome. But
it came from Japan?
It came from Japan because only Japan got these. Occasionally you can find them on eBay for really cheap. Not really cheap, but maybe like $60. But that's shipped.
Is it real gold or is it like gold plated?
I think it's gold plated. It's heavy though, so I don't know what it's made out of, but it is heavy. So I like it. It's awesome. So
cool.
Looks like the official name of it, Gold Mario what?
It's if you just put Gold Mario Club Nintendo. If you go to eBay, you put in Gold Mario Club Nintendo Japan. It normally pops up.
Somebody saw one for $147 on eBay right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And sometimes you can find them on Amazon too.
Back to the topic of things I read on Reddit with regards to Amiibo. That was like an hour ago, it seems like. So someone put this idea out, and it got like super downvoted. I happened to see it before it got downvoted, but it has like -50 karma, I think. The person said, what if for event Pokemon, so you go to GameStop, you get a Mew code or whatever. What if for those events, or for any Nintendo-related event, GameStop or whatever retailer it is got a special Amiibo or Amiibo card that only the retailer has. It's not sellable. It's like a retailer like device that they then tap it into your game, and it gives you that Pokemon or whatever like special ability in a game or whatever. What would you think if that happened?
Nah, I'm not cool with that.
I don't think I'd like that because I don't think it depends. If they had plenty for everyone, yeah, that would be cool.
Well, no. The idea is you don't get the Amiibo. The retailer gets the Amiibo. And you just get whatever the Amiibo provides via scanning.
Nah.
The figure or card is like only the employees get to actually access that amiibo or card.
Nah.
It's a terrible idea, but like, can you imagine if that happened? How much outrage there would be?
Yeah, you have people. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, I would
think
be
you're
pissed.
you're asking for problems.
I would throw a fit, for sure.
Yeah.
Nintendo would hear from me.
I think Nintendo would hear from a lot of people.
Yeah.
So with that, let's talk a little bit about the Nintendo Direct and all that. Tons of different games got announced. All the SNES Virtual Console. I know, Bobby, you're a huge Earthbound fan.
Oh yeah.
And so like, I'm excited for all. I've never played Earthbound. I'm very excited to try it. And so we've got all those digital downloads, all that stuff. Pilot Wings, Earthbound, Super Mario Bros. Link to the Past?
Yep.
And I can't remember the other ones, but I mean, that's just to name a few. A lot of great titles. And so, all right, I'm going to tangent one more time, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. Because, Bobby, you need to see this.
Oh, Jesus. The people at home are like, what the hell?
All right. I know, I'm sorry. So this is my pride and joy of gaming-related things. It is a fully functioning Super Scope.
You son of a bitch. That's awesome. You know, I really thought they were going to put one of them out in Splatoon. Like, I thought that was going to be a weapon in Splatoon.
I wanted it to be. I really did.
Awesome.
So, in case you didn't know, this takes 6 AA batteries.
Holy crap.
Holy crap.
But it's literally the exact same technology as the Wii Remote.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And for left and right-handed people, the scope
Flip it over.
can switch.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's
old
really
school,
cool.
Yeah, that's old school.
And it works. And if you ever manage to get a hold of one, the only game worth getting for it is called Battle Clash.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I thought you'd appreciate that.
I can appreciate that.
All right, so
for the old school stuff that they're coming up with, like I'm excited for this. The fact that I can play Link to the Past on the go, I already got Super Mario World. I downloaded that right after the Direct. I'm really excited for Earthbound, and my main excitement for Earthbound is I've already played it, I've beaten it, but I just love that game, and I want to support that game in hopes that they'll translate Mother 3 and bring it to the United States. I don't think we're ever going to see a Mother 4, although I would love to see them do that, but I just personally feel like I would just want to give as much support to this game as much as possible in hopes that Nintendo will go, okay, there is a following. We're going to bring Mother 3 over to the United States.
Well, there obviously is a following. I don't understand why they haven't done it already, because people are clamoring for more Earthbound and Mother 3 related things. There is a huge, okay, maybe not a huge following, but there is quite a following.
It's a decent one.
Well, that's why they put Lucas in. Look, you got to look at it like this.
Exactly.
Lucas was never a character that was in the United States. That's Mother 3. That game never came to the United States, and people were rabid for Lucas.
Right.
He was the second DLC character that they put in because the fans wanted it so much. So there's definitely something there. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think they got to do something.
I agree. With regards to the Direct, I know Ashley really wanted to talk about, so it's finally time, Ash. Kirby, Planet Robobot. Bobby, I'm a huge Kirby fan. I don't know about you.
No.
No?
What?
No.
Okay, we got to end this podcast now.
Oh, okay. It's okay that you guys don't like Animal Crossing.
The tides have turned. Tides have turned.
But now all of a sudden, I don't like Kirby, and we got a problem.
Okay.
I see how it is.
No. So, I love Kirby. I grew up playing Kirby and the Crystal Shards. That was my favorite game growing up, aside from Super Smash Brothers, because they came out actually about the same time. But Crystal Shards was a great game, and then once I played that, I went back and played all the ones previous to that, or not all, but most of them, via emulator on my computer at the time. I'm really excited for Planet Robobot because it seems like they're getting away from Epic Yarn and that super kiddie, family-oriented crap that they've been putting out, and going back towards that different mechanic platformer that it used to be.
Well, question. Triple Deluxe? Was Triple Deluxe in your mind, was that like an old school platformer, or was that more of the kiddie stuff?
I haven't played it.
Well, come on now. Okay, Ash, I'm gonna reference you, Ash. What do you think?
I think it was more kiddie.
Yeah, and that's my problem
Yeah.
with Kirby. I like Mason and I were talking about at the beginning of the show. I think when the very beginning, when Kirby first came out, it was kind of a hardcore platformer. Like there was more platformer mechanics to it and stuff. But as time went on, they looked at it and went, okay, our hardcore platformer is Mario, Donkey Kong.
Right.
Yoshi is like middle ground. Although Yoshi's Woolly World really stepped it up and took it back to old school.
Yeah, I like Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yeah, but Kirby seems like it's beginners. You know, it's not as hard, and that's I think the problem.
I agree, and I'm hoping that this new game will kind of push it back towards what it, in my mind, should have been all along. But I feel like Kirby, you know, he's pink and he's a ball and he's cute, whatever.
So cute.
I feel like I feel like that's why. Wait, what did you say?
I say he's so cute. I love Kirby.
There's no difference between him and Jigglypuff, really.
But Kirby, the games used to be, like you said, more serious with regards to platforming mechanics. Not that it's a serious, you know, plot line or anything, you know.
Yeah.
But it's Nintendo. I'm really hoping this game will kind of bring us back towards that rather than.
It's Kirby Titanfall.
I would love that.
Yes, I actually would really like that. I didn't really like Titanfall, but I would like Kirby Titanfall. I would play it.
It's ultimately what it is. You're getting a mech suit. You know what I mean? It's cool. It's a cool concept, I think.
Well, but they could ruin it by making it like, I hated Epic Yarn.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't die. Literally, you could not die. You couldn't fail a level and have to go back to the beginning. It was impossible.
I'm looking at the screenshots of it now. I hope it.
Okay,
with Epic Yarn though, I like the concept per se. I like the yarn aspect of it. It looked cool. That's why I was excited when they talked about Yoshi.
As far as art style goes, it's fine. It's beautiful.
It was just it was bad. It was bad.
All right. So the Amiibo that are going with it, and I'm excited for those just because it's another series of Amiibo.
These things are gonna have to stay in their cages. Like I love the box art for them. Yes, it's gonna be another one of them. Like
they just announced the box art today, didn't they?
They announced it pretty shortly after the direct.
Okay, because I just saw images today. I think I saw on Instagram.
Look so good. I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're cool. They're cool.
All right, so I will be getting one of each, and I will be opening it. Because
I'm going to probably get two of each so I can customize. I'm going to keep one, customize one, you know?
Yeah.
I definitely like them. I think they're... Now, the question is, and a lot of people have brought this up, and I've kind of defended it in my mind anyway, is DDD. Because I feel like King DDD is like the original old school DDD, not what we're used to in Smash. The look of them is more old school retro as opposed to the newer stuff, but I know that I'm definitely getting Waddle Dee and Kirby just because Kirby's in a different pose or whatever. I'm just a little. I don't know about Meta Knight, and I don't know about
what. Why?
I don't know.
I swear to God.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna put this out here. If Meta Knight is a freaking Best Buy exclusive again, I'm gonna kill somebody.
Nah.
I know.
Yeah, but you know what? The exclusives aren't that bad anymore. The exclusives are the ones you want.
You have a point.
Yeah, okay. I mean, but still, like Best Buy is probably the second worst with handling Amiibo.
Well, yeah, that's true.
They did pretty good with Dark Pit. When Dark Pit came out, they did pretty good.
All right, so for Dark Pit, I was traveling for work at the time, so I didn't get to deal with any of that release at all. So I didn't get to experience that. So I'll take.
That wasn't too bad. Like most stores had like about 50 of them. So.
Yeah, it was pretty abundant.
It was good for at that time, like how things were. That was really good. You know, of course, it's better now, but.
Gotcha. So, okay, I know, Bobby, your feelings on the direct. You put a whole video out about it.
Yeah, and we talked about it a lot yesterday on the podcast. But I just think it was okay. You know, I didn't think it was a home run by any stretch of the imagination. Like I said earlier, I think it was kind of, if you were a fan of the things they talked about, then you loved it. If you know, they gave us a lot of information. And Alan talked about this yesterday on the podcast, and he was saying, like, it's kind of the swan song. Like, this is it. This is the end of the Wii, and you can definitely see that with the games they announced. You know, they're gearing for the NX, and you get that vibe with this. I feel like the 3DS really isn't going anywhere. I feel like, you know, they're definitely still sticking around with the 3DS because they had a lot of 3DS games coming. I felt like they're holding information back, and we all know that.
Yeah.
We know they're holding information that they have, and it's like, come on, give me something.
Sure.
And, you know, so, but at the end of the day, like, I'm not one of the people who are like, oh my God, this was horrible, this is the worst. A lot of the things that people are talking badly about, I liked. I liked Paper Mario. I liked Metroid Federation Force. You know, there was stuff in there that I enjoyed. The ending it on Kirby, though, just was like...
Hey!
No, okay. Okay, so as someone that's not a Kirby fan, I can see why that, you know, like, I'd say a quarter of that direct was all about Kirby. And so, like, you know, I
could see, right.
I can understand, you know, someone that's not a big Kirby fan would understand, would not find that direct particularly appealing.
Kirby you open with. Kirby's not one you end with. You end with Zelda or something. Like, you have... That's, I think...
see your point, yeah.
I think
that's where the disconnect was, where
right.
you have Zelda U coming.
Yeah.
You have Twilight Princess in the next... Twilight Princess coming the next day. You know what I mean? So, obviously, you're not going to talk about Twilight Princess. Maybe a reminder like, hey, pick up Twilight Princess tomorrow or whatever. But Zelda U is coming.
Yeah.
Show something. Like, that's how it should have ended. They should
I see your point.
They should have been like, and one more thing before we go. Forget the pink ball. We're going to talk about... we're going to talk about Zelda. We got Epona running through a field for the 50th time. Everybody would have been happy, you know?
You know, honestly, mention the frickin' Zelda anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
Okay, and then the last game I want to talk about is Starfox, because I also love Starfox.
Yeah.
And it looks like they took Starfox 64, and the fact that they said, you know, it will seem very familiar because it's, you know,
you think they'll put out more Amiibo for it?
That's what I feel like is the missed opportunity. Like, they didn't talk about that, and especially when they show that, like, Fox will work in the game.
There's Amiibo compatibility, yeah.
Yeah, like, why would you not? Now, okay, and this might be something you want to talk about. The Arwing, they just announced they canceled that. Originally, they were making the Arwing, but they wanted it to transform into the Walker. So they wanted the Amiibo that you could have it either set up as the Arwing or you could...
Wouldn't that be so sick?
Yeah, but the problem was because of the sharp edges, they were afraid that it would hurt kids, and they couldn't get it passed in the United States for safety reasons. I think all over they couldn't get it passed, so they just passed on it. They didn't do it.
Yeah, so with regards to the Starfox game, like, an Amiibo, like the Arwing or whatever, that would have been awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But with Fox and Falco already being Smash figures, like, Starfox is a good game, and there's a good following for it, but honestly, I wouldn't say, from my experience with people I've talked to, I don't think Starfox is that huge of an IP for them. Like, no, maybe slightly larger than Kirby, but, I mean, maybe not even.
No, it's
I think
low.
Kirby's a little bigger.
Yeah,
well, if Kirby's bigger, I would, like, Starfox, like, okay, who would you get figures of, like, maybe Falco, or like another Starfox, Falco, Wolf, Peppy, Slippy, and, like, maybe Andros, but, like...
If it was me, I would have done another Fox, I would have done Falco, I would have done Wolf, and I probably, at that point, I would have either done Slippy or the Arwing, and that would have been it. You know, that would have been the way I went.
But, like, if you already have, like, unless you gave, like, said the Smash Fox Amiibo and the Smash Falco Amiibo won't work, like, what's the point of buying another one? Unless they look totally awesome, which would be kind of hard to do, because those figures already look awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you got to look at it like this. There is a small, very, very small population that aren't into Smash. So, and Fox was hard to get for a while there. So, until they did the reissues, you know, it could have been that people just didn't have Fox. So that's definitely one. And okay, so at the end of the day, let's just play devil's advocate. In that thinking, they're doing the same thing with Kirby. They're giving you Kirby, DDD, and Meta Knight. So that part of it they don't care about. The whole Mario Party line, every single one of those characters, except for Toad, already has, and Bowser's almost an identical creation of the original Bowser in Smash.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to throw that argument out. You know, that I don't think that holds water with him. At the end of the day, you know, they definitely needed to do something with that game, especially since you are going to have Amiibo support. I think that they should have done something with it.
Well, so you brought up a good point with like the Super Mario series. That line didn't sell particularly well compared to the Smash line. So maybe that's their thinking, is that, you know, that line didn't sell, and they're our most popular characters as far as they see it. So if we're gonna make another line of figures that maybe aren't quite as popular, like, and again, your argument of, you know, well, they did it with Kirby. Maybe they're trying it out with Kirby, and then if Kirby does well, maybe they'll do Starfox.
You think that's why they haven't done like another restock of Kirby, Meta Knight, and DTD? Because like they want people to be hyped for the new Kirby Amiibo?
Possibly, yeah. You know what? You're probably dead on with that.
Yeah, that's the first time I'd heard that.
Hopefully after the Kirby Amiibo come out, maybe we'll see like a release of the Smash ones. I hope.
This is all I'm going to say.
That's what it is.
This is all I'm going to say. They're putting out these Kirby ones. I've seen that they have a blue base, and I'm cool with that. But I'll tell you right now, if they're sitting on a Smash coin,
they're not. They already showed it.
Did they show what's the base have?
Cloud.
I saw the image the other day. It's like
Pulling it up right now.
I remember seeing it, but it's not a Smash base.
Okay. I'm just joking because of the Mega Man one.
Yeah,
Mega Man came on the Smash base, and I'm like, why wouldn't you do like a Mega Man base or something? But yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that kind of concludes the Nintendo Direct portion. The last thing is the Amiibo coming out soon. Roy, Ryu, Famicom Rob, Digby, Timmy and Tommy, Cap'n, Rover, and the Amiibo series 3 cards, and the Shadow Mewtwo card with Pokken Tournament. All that comes out on March 18th.
That's like
I am not getting the Animal Crossing ones.
Well,
I'm not doing that to myself.
Oh, you're horrible.
Okay.
Timmy and Tommy are awesome, man.
Okay, Timmy and Tommy I'll probably get.
Okay, so that's good enough for me.
Everything else, no.
Okay.
You'll get it fast then. You're all right.
So, but that's all that's coming out on March 18th. I've got my Roy pre-order in. Same with Ryu. I already have a Japanese Famicom Rob inbox, so I was like, I'll probably get the Famicom Rob to open, but I'm not going to get an extra one for inbox because I feel like it's like buying a second print version, like, you know, because I got the Japanese one because, you know, it was originally exclusive to them. It'd be like buying a Japanese Gold Mario at this point. You know?
I mean, I got mine right. I got mine there. You can see him. He's still in the package.
Oh wow, yeah, you got 3 that are still in the package.
But they're all in Japanese writing, so they're all Japanese Amiibo.
How come
and the reason why
Japanese ones?
Because these 2 are the Earthbound ones, so Ness and Lucas, and because they're kind of that whole aura of their Japanese games that were really brought here, I kind of was like, I want to have them in Japanese text.
Yeah.
So I like that. And then Rob, that was the only way to get them at the time. So I do have the next wait, like all the ones you just announced, they're all pre-ordered.
Yeah.
I have every single one on pre-order. When they come, I'll get them. I did get the extra Rob because I am taking him out of the package because I didn't want to take this one out of the package because he had the Japanese writing, and I didn't think he was coming to the United States.
I didn't either.
I think I paid $50 for him, and
I paid $25. I imported him through PlayAsia.
Same here.
Yeah, at the time, I got him.
I had a friend who preferred the Japanese packaging. Like he wanted to, for a while, he wanted to keep them new in box, the Japanese ones, because he liked the writing.
That's awesome, though.
Shortly after that, he said, "Screw it, it's too expensive. I'm not doing it."
But you know what's awesome? Okay, when I buy them from Japanese people, not PlayAsia, they come with like Japanese newspapers.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what, American people, you want to learn how to package something, buy something from Japan packaged.
I agree. 100%.
Because it is. The bubble wrap is all tape perfect. Like
exactly, it's so perfect.
Oh, it's amazing. Like they take pride in what they do. Like
they know how to ship. They really do know how to ship.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding. And even PlayAsia. Like shout out to PlayAsia. I don't know if you guys have gotten anything recently from them.
The Famicom Rob, like that box thing, they have to hold it.
That box is amazing, man. Like that's something. Here's where I look. That's something that they listened to what the people were saying, and they fixed it based upon the critiques that people were saying.
Yeah.
Like, they knew that there was collectors out there that didn't want the boxes smashed up and all that stuff. There's no way that, unless someone like drops it and runs it over, that thing ain't coming messed up.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. All right, and then the other amiibo coming out relatively soon, happens June 10th, is Animal Crossing Series 4 cards, Isabelle and her summer outfit variant, and then the Kirby Planet Robobot amiibo come out on June 10th. I'm pretty excited about those.
Yeah.
So we've got these waves and waves of amiibo coming out, and
Jesus.
I know, it makes your wallet hurt just thinking about
It
it.
really does. It really does. Although I've decided I'm not collecting the Animal Crossing ones now, so that's a little easier on my wallet.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks because like I do want them all, but I just kind of I don't know. I just kind of don't at the same time.
Let me just throw something at you guys because we're wrapping up here, and I kind of wanted to say this before we went off the air or whatever. But those people that are missing the hunts, I want to make a recommendation to you, and my recommendation is to reach out to people like you guys and like Xanarkin and Gonda Chris and Evilos and Game Changers and all these guys and all these people that are doing customs, because to me, that's the next wave of amiibo collecting. Like, I love the customs you guys are doing. I think they're phenomenal, and I think that anybody that is into amiibo owes it to themselves to have at least one custom. Like, scour Etsy, look at all the different customs, pick your favorite, and buy it. Now, yes, it's a little bit more money than a typical one, but you got to remember too that they're doing work to these things and they're taking their time to do this. But that's my kick now. Like, I'm all into collecting customs. I think it is amazing. I think you guys do phenomenal work. I'm blown away every time I see something new come from you guys. So, I got to tip my cap to all you guys. Truthfully, but that's what I would say is, like, get out there, and because that's the cool thing. Like you were saying earlier, Ash, like, oh, it was kind of cool to have, like, there was only 1,000 of these things.
Yeah.
I have a Rusty from SteamWorld Dig custom amiibo that nobody has.
Yep.
Not even Image and Form, who made the game, character, like, they actually reached out to Catherine and was like, hey, can you make us one too? Because, that thing's really cool. Yeah, and, like, that's what's awesome. Like, I know that nobody has that, and that's what makes it cool, and so I urge anybody that's into that to step out and do that.
So, good transition to the final topic of our custom amiibo of the week. And so we're going to feature Ashley's Paper Zelda and Paper Link, because those were awesome. And they'll show up in the video on screen here instead of us talking. But I'll need you to send me that photo, actually. But yeah, so those were awesome. You want to tell us a little bit about those, and then
I really enjoy, like, making any of, like, the paper amiibo. I love, like, the Paper Mario. I just love the look of the game, like, of the characters. I just think they look really cute and cartoony. But
what are you making them out of?
I use clay. Like, I take, like, a roller or whatever and just flatten it.
Okay.
Just paint on it, and I should probably use a Game & Watch base. But the thing is, with the custom boxes, I'm kind of worried, like, shipping it, if it's going to come out of the base and come loose.
Yeah.
Because with me sealing them with the custom boxes, you can't they're not made to be opened. Like, it's just made for the decoration. But
that's fine.
Back in November, I had done a Paper Mario, Paper Peach, and Paper Luigi for Amiibo Alert's Smash Hunger charity thing. And they raised some really good money, so I just thought he reached out to me and asked if I could do some customs for his. He's doing an article on each of the artists that are out every a couple weeks, maybe once a month, I don't know. But he reached out to me and asked me to make something. I was like, well, hey, might as well stick with the whole paper theme. And with the new Paper Mario game coming out, who knows? Maybe we'll see some Zelda stuff in there. I think it would be cool.
That's cool. Go ahead.
I was going to say, what would you guys think of a Paper Zelda game?
Somebody had mentioned that when I posted it. I think that would be really cool. I think it would be really interesting. It would definitely be new.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd be up for it.
It'd be kind of like... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it would be kind of like when they came out with Wind Waker and that new art style. I feel like some people hated Wind Waker
Yeah.
and
A lot
the
of people
art
hate
style.
Wind Waker.
I think
Yeah.
it would be a love-hate thing. Some people would really love it, and just some people would hate it. There's
Yeah.
not really much of an in-between.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, those will be our custom amiibo of the week. I guess now is a good time for your shout-outs for you guys, and then we'll wrap it up.
I don't know what I'm shouting out. I mean, I guess myself.
Yeah,
Check
yeah,
me out
yeah.
on Twitter.
Basically, plug yourself.
Check me out on Twitter and on Instagram at kick_ash with 2 eyes. I don't know what else to shout out here. No, I pretty much only use Twitter and Instagram. Occasionally YouTube. I'm gonna take your idea and I'm gonna try to do some YouTube videos like that, and occasionally some
Awesome.
tutorials.
You should.
Yeah.
Let me see something here. I'm following Ash, but she's not following me on
What
Twitter.
is your at? I know.
So I'm very heartbroken right now, and this is ridiculous. I'm gonna unfollow you now on.
Okay, what's your at?
On Instagram and Twitter, I am at the Geek Gurus. And then I got my YouTube channel just look up the Geek Gurus. Facebook, everything is just search the Geek Gurus. You'll find it wherever you look and all that stuff. I got the Geekcast that I do every week with Alan and Toby and Holly. I have, she just followed me. That is so awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm going to follow you on Instagram too.
Get on that, because I know I'm following you, because I like to see your work. You do good work.
Oh, thank you.
And I have the Ink Strike podcast that we do every other week. That's with Joe and Mark. Mark is my buddy from the Warp Whistle podcast. So, yeah, that's what I got.
Awesome. All right, and so I'm Mason. I host Touch Base Podcast with Josue from Amiibo Steel, who's not here right now, and Austin is also our co-host, but he hasn't been able to make one since episode 0. Austin's welcome whenever he finds the time. I also do Amiiglows, so I'm at Amiiglows on Twitter and Instagram. I've got a Facebook page. I say we, and I use plural pronouns a lot, but it's just me.
Yeah, I know a lot of Amiibo accounts, or just like bigger accounts, they refer to themselves as we, and it's just one person.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just me. So the Facebook page is facebook.com/Amiiglows. Let's see, and I've got the YouTube channel that I have for Amiiglows, and that's where we host the podcast as well. And then, and on Reddit, I'm Botanizer NC because I'm a botanist in real life.
Oh, is that you?
Yes, that is me.
Okay, all right. I see you on there sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm on Reddit, but I'm like the outcast. I get yelled at every time I'm on there.
Everybody gets yelled at on Reddit.
Yeah.
It's what Reddit's about, is yelling
Flap
at people.
Sample had to come yank me out. I left, and I was like, I'm done. And then he saw my tweet to Evilos, and he was like, can we have a conversation? So me and him talked it out, and he was like, ignore those guys. They're just power-hungry guys. So he's like, don't worry about it.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for being here, guys. Really appreciate it, especially Bobby making it here last minute. And Ash, it's great to have you on. And thanks so much for being here. And this has been the Touch Base Podcast, Level 3.